Since 2005, IFC has worked with over 300 inclusive businesses in over 80 countries, helping reach more than 250 million people. An inclusive business integrates the base of the pyramid into the heart of the value chain, providing them with greater access to goods, services, and livelihoods. This is the story of Delfino, who goes from being evicted to owning his first house, and the company Vinte, which is building affordable housing for low-income home buyers.
I lived in the United States. That's where I learned my English. According to the school, I made it all the way to the 10th grade, but I'm barely learning how to read and write now. When we were renting an apartment, I ran out of work, and I owed 2 months' rent. The owner of the apartment kicked me, my wife, and my 3 kids out on the street. I started collecting bottles, trash, whatever I could sell, so I could bring him something to eat. Luckily for me that I found work the next month, paid him his rent, and I left and started building myself back up.
This is the story of Maxima, who goes from waiting in line every day for well water to having clean water in her own home. And the company Manila Water, which is connecting low-income families to water for the first time.
Ang nakatira po sa bahay namin, yung mga anak ko po.
At home, I live with my children. So including my husband and my 3 grandchildren, there are 8 of us. My husband used to work as a janitor for a sugar factory, but he has been unemployed for 7 years. We survive on what I earn from selling barbecue. Until last year, life used to be very difficult because we did not have tap water. I would wake up as early as 3 a.m. to stand in line to buy well water. I had no choice. I could not work, and my family could not live without water.
This is the story of Kinote, who almost gives up farming before learning profitable coffee production, and the company Ecom SMS, which is providing training and market access to smallholder farmers for the first time.
I live here with my wife, my children, and my mother. I want to have a better life and educate my children as far as they can go. Before, I used to do coffee like any other farming and just settle for whatever I could get. It was difficult then because I got very little out of the farm, just enough to feed my family. I was not motivated to continue farming.
Vinte develops affordable housing across Mexico. Since 2001, it has sold over 8,000 first homes to low-income families.
1,100 developers in Mexico are dedicated exclusively to build houses. What Vinte does is different. We sell you a house, we stay with you, and then we organize you socially.
Vinte tiene 2 objetivos principales.
Vinte has 2 primary objectives. Not only do we build homes, but we also build communities which are well organized and above all, sustainable.
She has earned our trust. She supports us on many things. More than anything else, she gives us good advice. For me, the most important change has been my safety and the safety of my family. In our old house, the power would go out all the time. Sometimes there was no water. Here, there is always water, and the power almost never goes out.
When we started off, we used to take showers with a 5-gallon bucket. Here, The company actually gave me solar energy. It heats up the water on the roof. I found my trade as a mechanic. I built my first motor when I was 10. You can't explain the feeling when I fired that thing up. It was like, wow, you know, it's like awesome knowing that I could do that. I diagnose a car like a doctor would diagnose your body. The oil is the blood, the heart is the engine. I'm very fair with my prices.
Manila Water is a private water provider in the Philippines. Since 1997, it has connected 1.7 million customers with water for the first time.
So dito kayo. Nagumpisa ang Manila Water.
When Manila Water first arrived in 2009, people got excited. People in this community are very hardworking, but they are poor. Few could afford to have their own well. There were only 5 wells for a community of 40,000 people.
Ang hinahandle po ng isang territory manager.
As a territory manager, I'm responsible for 5,000 water connections.
We call our territory management our secret sauce. Territory management allows us to have a face with our customers. It's important that our customers know who we are and know we are there when they need us.
Sa trabaho ko ito na ginagawa ko araw-araw.
In this job, it gave me much joy that the people who hope for and wish for water actually get a water connection.
Sa panglinis lang po sa...
Water is very important for me because I use it to wash the items I sell at my barbecue stand. Now that I have my own water, I can wash my items faster, and my tap water is much less expensive.
Ecom SMS works with 200,000 coffee farmers in its supply chain across Kenya, helping them improve quality, increase yields, and access new markets.
Through my local coffee cooperative, I joined SMS last year and began taking part in training. I wanted to learn new things.
I easily relate with the farmers. Coming from a farming background, I would say I have an empathetic eye. I am able to see things from their point of view. Kama vile nimewaambia, hamjambo. SMS approaches cooperatives that are willing to be trained and then organizes the farmers into groups of 50. I have an opportunity to reach very, very many farmers. I have a direct input in improving their livelihoods.
SMS model is very sustainable because the trainers are farmers themselves. We train farmers to be the trainers of the farmer.
It is good to have friends and neighbors in the training because now we compete with each other to see who will produce more kilos of coffee. It is always very competitive. I've seen great improvements. Before, my coffee berries used to have black spots, but now they are nice red color. For those of us who have been trained, you can see the difference. Our coffee beans are heavier.
We believe that when people own their own house, they start believing in themselves and in their future. And if they have hopes and dreams, the country will change.
Una, dos, tres, órale, órale. You can't really explain the feeling because you have to live it. From being evicted to owning my own house. With my education, I never thought I could make it this far.
My business is doing better now. I have more capital to invest, more items to sell, so I am making more money.
Being part of a piped-in water community sort of establishes themselves as I am connected, and you can see their faces light up with dignity.
From my small earnings, I was able to send 2 of my children through university. Now, I will keep working to help provide my grandchildren a better future.
Visiting them, you'll see many farmers building new houses, wearing better clothes, wearing bigger smiles, because there's hope now.
The house where we live is 1 room. It is small, and that is why I am building a new house that has more space for my family. Now I dream about building a bigger farm so that I can harvest more kilos and make more money, so that I can educate my children.